Lena Reyes was exhausted. Debt seemed to stalk her every step, and bad luck clung to her like a dark shadow. It felt like no matter how hard she worked, life had other plans. Have you ever felt like you were running in place, fighting a losing battle? Desperation makes skeptics consider the impossible, and Lena found herself drawn to an ancient practice, whispered about by those seeking a way out. But could a simple ritual truly change her fortune? Or was it just another empty promise? When Lena stepped into Brother Jae-Rin's meditation temple, she didn't expect much. She thought it was just another stab at hope, until she heard about a practice that had helped others unlock prosperity and luck. Could changing her mindset with something as small as a daily drink make a difference? The doubts lingered, but something within Lena pushed her forward. What she discovered was more than just a ritual. It was a doorway to transforming her entire reality. Lena Reyes felt like life was conspiring against her. No matter how hard she worked, debt seemed to multiply and bad luck followed her every step. How could everything go so wrong, so quickly? She wondered. Her mind replayed the moments of failure, reinforcing an ever-growing fear. What if this is all I deserve? The voice in her head wasn't new. It was the whisper of scarcity, a relentless reminder of every mistake and every lost opportunity. Lena desperately needed a way out, but where to start? The stress of bills piling up and missed promotions weighed heavily on her chest. Lena felt like she was running in circles, never making real progress. A colleague noticed her exhaustion and suggested something unexpected: visiting a small meditation temple led by Brother Jae-Rin. "Meditation won't pay my bills," Lena muttered, trying to laugh it off, but her colleague was insistent. "It's not about meditation," they replied. "It's about energy. Maybe you're blocking the flow of good things." Blocking the flow? The idea stayed with her, gnawing at the edges of her skepticism. When Lena arrived at Brother Jae-Rin's modest temple, the atmosphere caught her off guard. There was a stillness in the air, a sense of time slowing down. Lena's mind, always racing, seemed to pause. "Welcome," Brother Jae-Rin greeted her, his voice like a gentle breeze. "Sit, listen, and perhaps you'll find what you're seeking." Lena didn't know what she was looking for: peace, hope, or maybe just relief from her endless thoughts. Could a place like this really hold answers? She questioned silently, feeling a strange mixture of doubt and curiosity. Brother Jae-Rin spoke in stories, not sermons. He shared parables of rivers and mountains, resilience and acceptance. At first, Lena thought it was poetic nonsense, but something about his words lingered. "Sometimes what we chase is what we push away," he said, looking directly at her. Lena felt exposed, as if he could see the storm raging inside her. "There is a practice," he continued, "one that shifts the energy we emit. It requires intention and patience, but it can transform the way you experience life." Could a practice like this really make a difference? She wondered. The whispers of scarcity had been a constant presence in Lena's mind, convincing her that good fortune was for others, not her. But as Brother Jae-Rin spoke of a ritual involving a simple drink, Lena felt a flicker of hope. He described how intentions, when combined with small actions, could create powerful changes over time. "It's not about magic," he explained, "but aligning your energy with what you desire." Lena left the temple uncertain, yet intrigued. Could something this simple really shift the course of her life? She thought, feeling the weight of her skepticism clashing with a deep yearning for change. Lena returned to the temple, unsure why she was drawn back. Brother Jae-Rin welcomed her with the same warm smile. "You came back," he said softly. "That's the first step, showing up for yourself." His words struck Lena more deeply than she expected. How long had it been since she had done anything truly for herself? As they walked through the garden, Brother Jae-Rin told a story about a tree that grew unseen for years, its roots spreading quietly until it finally broke through the ground. "The strongest changes often start below the surface," he said. The ritual Brother Jae-Rin described wasn't complicated, but it demanded consistency and mindfulness. Lena was instructed to prepare a drink using specific ingredients that held symbolic meanings: green tea for clarity, honey for sweetness, cinnamon for luck, and ginger for courage. Each ingredient represents an intention, he explained. As you prepare and drink it, you're focusing your mind and aligning your energy with what you wish to attract. Lena listened, still doubtful but willing to try. What harm could it do? She reasoned. At home, Lena set up a small corner in her living room for the practice. She placed a candle, a journal, and the ingredients Brother Jae-Rin had mentioned. As she lit the candle, she felt a sense of ceremony, a small but meaningful break from her chaotic thoughts. Lena prepared the drink, following the monk's instructions to stir the honey slowly, focusing on the sweetness she wished to bring into her life. As she took the first sip, she closed her eyes and whispered the affirmation Brother Jae-Rin had given her. I attract prosperity and luck into my life every day. Lena felt foolish at first, like she was pretending to be someone she wasn't. But something in the ritual made her feel calmer, more present. She began her mornings with the drink, repeating the affirmation and visualizing a life free from debt and bad luck. The whisper of scarcity still lingered, but its voice seemed less convincing. Lena wondered, was this all in my head, or was something shifting? The doubt persisted, but so did the ritual. She continued, driven by an inner resolve she hadn't felt in years. One morning, as Lena prepared her drink, she felt an unexpected sense of clarity. It was as if the chaos in her mind had momentarily stilled, and she could finally see what she'd been missing. The ritual was more than just an act. It was a declaration of trust in herself and in something greater. Lena's heart swelled with a mixture of hope and relief. Could this really be the beginning of something new? She wondered, taking a deep breath and feeling, for the first time in a long time, the possibility of change. As Lena continued her daily ritual, she began noticing subtle shifts in her life. The first sign was an email from an old client offering her a freelance project, an opportunity she desperately needed. Coincidence? Lena thought, unsure whether to attribute it to luck or the ritual. But then came a call from her bank, offering to renegotiate the terms of a lingering debt. Lena felt both surprised and wary. Is something really changing, or am I just getting lucky? She wondered, her mind teetering between skepticism and belief. Brother Jae-Rin's words echoed in her thoughts. What you emit, you attract. Lena couldn't deny that something felt different, not just externally, but within herself. She felt lighter, as if a burden had been partially lifted. It wasn't just about the opportunities, it was the absence of constant fear. The whisper of scarcity, once loud and persistent, was now a faint murmur. Lena began to question whether her mindset had been her greatest obstacle all along. Had I been blocking my own path? She asked herself, wrestling with the implications. Lena's conversations with Brother Jae-Rin grew deeper as she shared her doubts and small victories. The universe is a mirror, he told her one afternoon. It reflects what you believe to be true. Lena found his words both comforting and unsettling. Had her constant focus on scarcity been the very thing keeping it alive? She thought about the ritual and how each sip seemed to reaffirm a shift in her beliefs. Lena started to wonder if changing her life was as much about releasing old patterns as it was about embracing new ones. One day, Lena found herself facing an unexpected challenge, an argument with a coworker that left her feeling deflated and defeated. The whisper of scarcity took the opportunity to creep back in, whispering doubts and fears. You're still the same failure, it hissed. But this time, Lena didn't let it take over. She went home, lit her candle, and prepared her ritual drink. As she took each sip, she focused on gratitude for the opportunities she had received and the lessons she was learning. Maybe transformation isn't about never failing, she realized, but about trusting yourself to keep going. With each passing day, Lena felt more in control. Not of her circumstances, but of how she responded to them. She continued her ritual each morning, using it as a moment of reflection and intention setting. The changes in her life were small, but they felt significant. Lena began to believe that prosperity wasn't just about money or luck, but about a mindset of trust and gratitude. Could it really be this simple? She thought, feeling a growing sense of clarity. The ritual wasn't just about attracting good things, it was about becoming the person who could receive them. Lena's daily ritual was becoming a source of comfort, but doubts still lingered. Was this truly helping, or was she just tricking herself into feeling better? One morning, during her visualization, Lena felt a sudden flash of insight, a moment of clarity that took her by surprise. She saw herself not as the anxious, debt-ridden person she had been, but as someone capable of creating change. Was this real, or just a fantasy? She wondered, trying to hold on to the feeling of possibility. Later that day, Lena received unexpected news. Her freelance work had been recognized, and a new contract was offered. Could this be the universe responding to my intentions? She asked herself, cautiously optimistic. But as quickly as hope rose, so did her fears. What if this doesn't last? The whisper of scarcity was relentless, reminding her of every failure. Lena felt torn between embracing this new reality and retreating into old patterns. Was this new path sustainable, or just a lucky break? In a moment of uncertainty, Lena returned to Brother Jae-Rin's temple. She found him tending to a small garden, carefully pruning the plants. I don't know if I'm doing this right, Lena confessed, her voice tinged with frustration. Brother Jae-Rin smiled softly. The practice isn't about doing it right, It's about trusting yourself enough to keep doing it, he replied. Lena was silent, trying to absorb his words. Could consistency really be more important than perfection? She wondered, feeling both comforted and challenged. As the days passed, Lena continued her ritual, even when her doubts resurfaced. She repeated her affirmation, visualized her desires, and drank her tea with intention. But more importantly, Lena started using the ritual as a moment to ground herself, to find peace in the chaos of her thoughts. Maybe this isn't about controlling my luck, she thought, but about finding my center amid uncertainty. The realization was both liberating and terrifying. Lena wasn't sure if she was ready to let go of her need for control. Despite her doubts, Lena began to notice more changes. She felt calmer, more resilient in the face of setbacks. The opportunities that arose weren't just coincidences. They were reflections of her new state of mind. Lena's belief in the ritual grew stronger, not because of magic, but because of the peace it brought her. She realized that the practice wasn't about avoiding challenges, but about becoming someone who could face them with courage. Is this what transformation feels like? She wondered, feeling the shift deepen within her. The more Lena embraced the ritual, the more subtle shifts she experienced. She received an unexpected bonus at work, which allowed her to pay off a lingering debt. Was this the result of luck, or something more? She asked herself, trying to make sense of the changes. Lena noticed that the anxiety she once felt around money was beginning to ease. She was learning to trust not just the ritual, but herself. Could this be the path to something better? She wondered, feeling a cautious sense of hope. Lena's relationship with her finances began to shift as well. She started making decisions from a place of clarity rather than fear. The ritual became a reminder of her own worth and capability, a small but powerful act of self-trust. Lena was no longer just trying to escape her circumstances. She was learning to face them with confidence. Could a simple practice really create such profound changes? She thought, marveling at how her perspective was transforming. Each day felt like a new beginning. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Lena still faced moments of doubt, especially when unexpected expenses or setbacks occurred. The whisper of scarcity hadn't disappeared entirely. It lingered in the background, waiting for a moment of weakness. Yet Lena felt more equipped to handle it now. She had a tool, a practice that helped her find her center. Is this how resilience is built? She wondered, feeling stronger despite the challenges. Lena realized that the ritual wasn't just about creating abundance. It was about creating inner stability. During one particularly difficult week, Lena faced an unexpected car repair that threatened to drain her savings. The familiar panic rose within her, and the whisper of scarcity seized the opportunity to remind her of every past failure. But Lena didn't give in to the fear. She returned to her ritual, repeating her affirmation with renewed conviction. I attract prosperity and luck into my life every day. It wasn't just a statement, it was a promise to herself to keep moving forward. Over time, Lena began to see the ritual not as a guarantee of success, but as a way to anchor herself in a world of uncertainty. The challenges didn't disappear, but Lena felt more grounded, more capable of facing them with a clear mind. She was no longer waiting for life to hand her luck. She was actively creating it through her intentions and actions. Could this be the real power of the ritual? She thought, realizing that her journey was only just beginning. Lena returned to the temple, feeling both grateful and confused by the changes in her life. She found Brother Jae-Rin meditating by the temple's pond, and she hesitated before interrupting him. I don't understand, Lena admitted. Why is this working? Brother Jae-Rin opened his eyes, smiling with a twinkle of amusement. It's not about making something work, he replied. It's about aligning yourself with the flow of life, rather than resisting it. Lena furrowed her brow, trying to grasp the meaning of his words. What does it mean to align with life? Brother Jae-Rin continued. When you trust in the process, you stop fighting against the current. You allow life to unfold, knowing that you are prepared to face whatever comes. Lena considered his words, feeling both enlightened and skeptical. She had spent so much of her life fighting, against debt, against bad luck, against herself. Was surrender really the key? She wondered, feeling conflicted. It wasn't easy to let go of her need for control, but something about Jae-Rin's words resonated deeply within her. Lena shared her doubts with the monk, admitting that she still felt uncertain about the future. Doubt is natural, Brother Jae-Rin replied, but it is not a barrier unless you believe it is. He told her a parable about a bird learning to fly. It doesn't wait for the wind to be perfect, it trusts that its wings are enough. Lena listened, feeling a mixture of inspiration and fear. Could she really trust herself to navigate whatever came her way? It was a question that lingered long after she left the temple. As Lena reflected on the conversation, she realized that her journey wasn't just about attracting luck or paying off debts. It was about becoming someone who could face life's challenges with courage and clarity. The ritual was helping her cultivate a mindset of abundance, but it was also teaching her to trust herself in ways she never had before. Was this the true purpose of the ritual? Lena wondered, feeling a deeper understanding of her practice. The ritual wasn't just a tool, it was a path to self-discovery. Lena decided to fully embrace the practice, not as a quick fix, but as a way to cultivate inner strength and trust. She continued her ritual each morning, but now with a renewed sense of intention. Lena felt more connected to her desires and more aligned with the life she wanted to create. She wasn't chasing luck or running from fear, she was choosing to walk her path with purpose. Could this be the beginning of true transformation? Lena thought, feeling a growing sense of confidence. With each day, Lena's commitment to the ritual deepened. She approached it not just as a practice for attracting good fortune, but as a way to stay connected to her intentions. Lena found herself becoming more mindful in other areas of her life, her relationships, her work, and even her self-talk. The whisper of scarcity was still there, but its voice no longer held the same power. Lena was learning to listen to her own voice, the one that believed in possibility. Could this be what alignment feels like? She wondered. Lena's financial situation continued to improve, but it was no longer the sole focus of her journey. She found joy in the small moments, enjoying her morning tea, writing her intentions in her journal, and reflecting on her progress. Lena realized that prosperity wasn't just about external success, it was about cultivating a mindset of gratitude and trust. She began to see her life not as a series of problems to solve, but as an opportunity to grow and create. Could this shift in perspective be the real gift of the ritual? She thought. One morning, as Lena prepared her tea, she felt a sense of peace that was both foreign and familiar. It was as if she'd been searching for this feeling her whole life without knowing what it was. Lena closed her eyes, repeating her affirmation with a heart full of gratitude. I attract prosperity and luck into my life every day. The words felt like a promise to herself, a reminder that she was capable of creating the life she desired. Could this be what true prosperity feels like? Lena wondered, smiling softly. Lena's relationships with others began to shift as well. She approached conversations with more patience and openness, and she found herself listening more deeply to those around her. The changes weren't dramatic, but they were meaningful. Lena realized that her journey wasn't just transforming her finances, it was transforming her as a person. She was becoming more aware, more connected, and more present. Could this be the purpose of all the challenges I've faced? She reflected, feeling a sense of acceptance. As Lena continued to embrace the ritual, she felt a growing sense of trust, not just in the process, but in herself. She was no longer waiting for life to happen to her. She was actively shaping her reality through her choices and intentions. Lena realized that the real transformation wasn't in attracting external success, but in becoming someone who could navigate life with courage and clarity. Could this be the beginning of a new chapter? She thought, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. Lena's journey had shown her that transformation wasn't about controlling life, but about trusting herself to let life unfold. The ritual had become more than a daily habit. It was a way of staying connected to her intentions and desires. Lena now understood that prosperity and luck weren't final destinations. They were states of mind she could cultivate every day. She wasn't chasing happiness anymore. She was choosing it. Is this what it means to truly live fully? Lena wondered, feeling grateful for the path she had walked. As she reflected on her journey, Lena realized that the ritual had been a catalyst, but the real change had come from within. She had learned to let go of old patterns and trust herself in the process of embracing the unknown. Lena felt deeply thankful for the challenges that had brought her here and for the wisdom gained along the way. Could this be the start of something even greater? She wondered, sensing that her journey wasn't ending, it was just beginning. Lena's transformation was never just about the ritual itself. It was about discovering the power of intention and cultivating the courage to trust in her own journey. The practice had taught her that prosperity wasn't something to chase, but something to align with, an internal shift that reflected externally. She wasn't merely surviving anymore. She was thriving. Lena had uncovered a deeper sense of peace and purpose. Could the lessons she learned lead to an even richer life? She pondered with hope. There would still be challenges ahead, but Lena felt ready to face them with newfound trust, courage, and gratitude. She no longer saw these challenges as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Lena was confident in her ability to navigate whatever life presented because she knew she had the inner strength to do so. Was this the real gift of her journey? She thought, recognizing that the true transformation had come from within. Lena felt a quiet joy in trusting her path. Each morning, as Lena prepared her tea, she smiled, knowing that she wasn't just practicing a ritual. She was reaffirming her intentions, aligning herself with the life she wanted, and embracing every day as a new opportunity. Lena understood now that transformation wasn't a final destination, but an ongoing process of growth, reflection, and trust. She had become the protagonist of her story, taking an active role in creating her life. Could each day be a new beginning? Lena thought, feeling ready to embrace whatever came next. Lena's journey shows that sometimes the smallest changes can lead to the most profound transformations. If you've ever felt trapped by debt or bad luck, ask yourself, what would happen if you started your mornings with a shift in intention? Let us know in the comments. What daily ritual would you create to align your life with abundance? If this story inspired you, give it a like and subscribe for more powerful stories. Let's create a community that believes in the power of intention and transformation.